So the touch always soothes me. It's like going to the spa. It's like, ah. My emotional body, my mental body, my spiritual body is also being healed with all this. Because as my frequency rises, it rises in all areas.
Hey Donna, welcome to Touch Tales. How you doing today, girl?
I'm doing awesome. Ready to go here.
Well, I love having you in focus group. You are such an inspiration to all of us. So thank you for being part of that as well.
Well, thank you.
So Donna, we are here to discuss your experience with a touch. What would you like to start with?
Oh gosh. Um, you know, keep in mind that occasionally some resistance from the past, some fear pops up off and on. So whenever I'm on these QHS calls, all of a sudden I'll start questioning something because the fear rises up and I'm shooting from the hip when I'm speaking. And then afterwards I'm saying, Donna, you know better than that, you know. But and ordering the V9 was one of those where I had responded on Telegram, yeah, what's happening with the V9 or the HHS, and well, we're focusing on the touch, and it's like, well, I want the HHS, and I have to be perfectly honest. The touch is so much more powerful than the V9 or the QT wave, okay, which I've used both. The V9 Plus is great to have with you. It's kind of your companion to keep things balanced. But when anything happens in my life, when my rhythm shifts and becomes imbalanced, the touch is my lifesaver. Okay. And once I started experiencing the touch and I got out of my head, because that's really the problem is occasionally I get in my own way and I allow resistant energy, these memories from the past that will unconsciously, subconsciously pop up because they're resonating with the frequency that's around me. And and it's like all of a sudden they get in the way. And until I realize that, hey, you know, that stuff doesn't exist anymore. Okay. And I release it and let it go. But there's times when those moments happen that the touch is there. I mean, I maintain my property myself. I have family members who are here, and quite often people say, why don't you let them mow? Why don't you let them do it? And I said, you know what? If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. And I said, I'm not ready to lose it. I said, there are so many, I said, more and more with these new quantum technologies coming out, these frequency devices. And then when I heard about the Q-arc, from Alex, besides the QT wave, I mean, Alex talked about it and he said, well, today's the last day. They have an opening. You can become a member. And I'm like, boom, right? No questions asked because I knew in my heart that that was the answer that would address some of the issues that I was experiencing, especially inflammation in the body. No matter what I tried, I mean, I tried all the diets, I tried everything, changing foods, everything else, things would go well for a while and then we'd have the relapse. And what was happening was my finger joints were always swelling up and things were starting to where my hand was starting to claw, and I'm going, I can't let that happen because I love to type, I love to communicate, and I use my hands constantly. All right. And when you think about it, when you hurt your arm or you hurt your hand and you can't use it, you begin to realize the value of those digits of that hand. And as I've been observing, as an energy healer, and I'm connected to healers all around the world. I'm part of these different groups and stuff. So you hear about different things, you hear about different experiences. Oh, I want to go there. I want to try this. I want to try that. And I want to do all these things. But then you start with the inflammation and it starts to weigh you down and kind of hold you back. And I'm going, there's got to be a way to do this. And that was part of the driving force of my becoming an energy healer and a practitioner in the body code, because the body code modality allows you to tap in to the subconscious mind of someone with their permission. And then we were able to identify these faulty belief systems. So it's not just identifying trapped emotional energy or imbalances in the body, but it's also about these faulty belief systems. And that's when I began to realize about all the conditioning and program that I've had over the past 69, almost 70 years, and realizing how that was holding me back. It's no different with age, how we're programmed about age. Humanity has this thing where they need to label everything in order to understand it. And so age this has this quantum field of this morphic field of energy around it. Everything about age, oh, when you retire, now you're going to have health problems and you're going to have this and and it's these faulty beliefs. And through my learning journey as a healer, I learned all about this, that all can be released. And what's so powerful about quantum healing systems is not only are they coming out, with these frequency healing devices that make life, oh my God. I mean, for me, I don't have, most of the time I don't feel pain. I have stiffness, but I don't have pain.
Mm,
And when I started using the touch, a lot of the pain went away. And if I experience pain, whether in my finger joints or in my knee joints, then I would place the touch on it and it would clear it up. I'm like, okay, yep, we're done. Let's go. Move forward. Because I'm an outdoor person. I love nature. I am so connected to the elementals and Mother Gaia that, I mean, if I could just live in nature all the time, I mean, we are in heaven. I believe we're in heaven. This is heaven on earth. It's just we need to get out of our own way and stop listening to the programming, of what others are saying. But, you know, but Alex Coyer is really who inspired me to join QHS. And that same day I joined, because he talked about how the QT wave was helping him, and he talked about the QR technology that was being worked on and other things. And he shared such a strong faith in that. And even though you are wherever you are in California and I'm here in Iowa, distance doesn't exist. Frequency is everything, and everything is frequency. I mean, we're energy. So what you feel, if I had your permission, I can tap into you and I can feel what you're feeling.
really?
But I also have the ability to look at you and see the energy around you and see where your energy is bright and see where your energy is dim.
Wow.
Okay. So these are gifts from Creator,
Yeah.
Creator, call it God, the Ishness, whatever you choose to call it in your reality. But to me, I have been on my divine path probably for a good 10 years, if not longer, but the point where I understood what was happening, you know, and I have always felt that one of my key purposes in life was to help heal humanity. So it's like, okay, I became a healer and I'm healing one person at a time. I'm starting to speak with small groups and work with gatherings, and I'm going, this is small stuff. What about the bigger? How can I take my knowledge and share it forward and do things? And so I went on a search seeking for technology that can help people heal. But the biggest thing that I learned and help healing is just get out of your own way, get out of your head and drop into your heart. And that's the hardest part of the healing journey
Mm.
is getting out of your own way, you know. But when I think about, I don't think about anything anymore. When I feel stiff, I go to the touch. I don't look at, oh, tomorrow's going to be, I worked all, I mean, this morning I just spent 2 hours mowing. And I come in and oh, look, I didn't get that link yet from you. I better call you. Are we still on? And I feel great.
That's
I
awesome.
mean,
Well, you look great. I mean, really. And your energy just shines. Like I've always felt that way about you since I first met you. And I can't remember when it was on one of our calls, but you do shine. So it's fun to see.
well, and that's what's so powerful about the touch is the touch helps make you shine. It helps the frequencies that Dr. A has created. I mean, he's amazing, amazing. I hope one day I get to personally meet him, just to give him a big ass hug, because what he has brought to the world is absolutely amazing. And the thing is that frequency, such as what's being radiated out through the touch, actually is lifting your frequency. It's helping to find that balance. And what was interesting about, being part of the AI focus group was, I turned around and I asked, okay, well, what's the difference between the V9 Plus and the QHS, the touch? Okay. How is that helping and supporting the body? It, are there frequencies within your body? Because I believe that you're not just one frequency and your frequency is changing all the time because you're pure energy and there's frequencies flowing through us just as we're sitting here. Okay. But I asked, and on a spiritual level, what AI said the V9 Plus was designed for quantum coherence with the body, mind, and spirit. And I go, oh, that's cool. It's finding the balance between the three. So what about the touch? Well, that aligns with the earth, the cosmos, the grid, deeply meditative. Okay. So it's like, okay, what kind of chakras are these focusing in on? Well, the V9 Plus, the chakra focus targets inflammation and circulation, affecting all chakras indirectly. So, what about the touch? Well, the deep theta coherence and subtle chakra alignment. So the touch always soothes me. It's like going to the spa. It's like, ah, you know, and think about it when you go to the spa or you have a massage and you're like, ah, and that's what the touch does for me. Now, mind you, I've heard many people say, I can't feel it. I can't feel anything. Well, part of that may be you have to get out of your own way, get out of your mind and drop into the heart. Slow down and breathe. And when you take those deep breaths, the oxygen goes into your mind and kind of loosens things up. So you're out of that chatterbrain. And then as you focus on your intention, what is it that you want, that you're intending? Well, to me, I just want to be healthy and well. Very simple, you know, but I don't ask for that. I say, I am healthy and well. I am the creator of my reality. And if I ask for something and say, I want this or I need that, then what you get back from the universe is I want, I need. So I found, and Cynthia is great about this, and you too, where it's like, and Kelly also, intention, and the other admin people too. Use the intentions, intend, and intend. What do you want your reality to be? And
Mm,
so I said, well, I want my reality to be pain-free. Well, if all aspects of myself are healthy and well, then I've got peace, balance, and harmony and no pain. And that's what I'm experiencing. Am I still every now and then feeling pain and feeling joint stiffness? And yeah, I have my ups and downs. You know, I haven't figured out totally how to heal all that, but recently I asked I asked AI what I needed to do, and it gave me a whole two-page outline of what I should be doing to focus that if I truly believe that I'm pure energy, then I need to get out of my own way of thinking, that I'm broken.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that very much.
So to me, being a part of QHS is really about being part of the shift, being a part of, you know, what I see as a spiritual shift, which has a snowball effect to where we focus on the now, that we focus on what we want our reality to be, and that we this new technology that we recognize that this is going to heal, that these tools are going to help us. If I go in with doubt and I question, gee, is this really going to work? Well, guess what? No, it's not going to work because you just created a resistance with the thought of doubt.
Exactly. It's so funny is that I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it might have been Madeline, but she says when you have doubt, you tell the universe you changed your mind.
Yeah.
And I thought that is a good point to put it that way, you know?
Yeah. So I believe we create our own realities, and I want to have fun. And everything I do, I have fun. Even mowing the grass, I'm out there playing and it got a little hot. And I said, Brother Wind, would you please pick it up a little bit and in that breeze? And next thing, the wind would pick up and it would cool me down. And then I say, well, a little cloud cover over here, hiding that sun a little bit till I get done. And I even have those moments where I'm trying to clean up the clippings and everything with a leaf blower, and Brother Wind is blowing the wind at me and I'm going, come on, knock it off. I said, just give me a few minutes, and all of a sudden the wind will calm down. And last week it calmed down, and all of a sudden there was this whoosh and threw it right up at me. And I said, oh yeah.
Messing with you.
I mean, when you open yourself up to all possibilities, anything is happening. And when you communicate with the universe, to the elementals, whatever it is, you know, I mean, when you go outside and the sun, the sun, the light from the sun, the frequencies from the rays feed my body and help heal my body. When people say, well, you're out in the sun too much, you're going to get cancer. And I go, you know what? I said, cancer is nothing more than just an imbalance in the body. And if that's what you believe will happen, well, that's your reality, but that's not mine. I said, these rays are healing to me.
Hmm.
So it all boils down to where my thoughts go, my energy flows, and that's what becomes my reality. And so getting back to QHS and with these quantum, healing devices, I mean, these devices have the power and are helping people raise their frequency. And as their frequencies rise up, they begin to heal. The resistant energy leaves the body, and that opens up space for the love frequency, the joy, because joy doesn't come from the external. Joy comes from the internal within.
Yeah.
So I don't know, this is who I am, and it took me a while to get here. I wasn't always this way, and my kids and my grandkids would tell you, yeah, I remember when mom or Nana was like this, and she was so programmed, and you had to clean every week, and you had to do this, and everything my parents did, I was repeating the same thing, and it was just the program, the patterns, and it's like, I don't want to play with those patterns anymore. And when some residual energy pops back up, go, nope, been there, done that, not playing that game with you, get out of here. And I don't give it any thought because thoughts are energy, whether you speak them or you think them.
Yep.
They create your reality. And so when you say, nope, I don't own that, and even with AI, with Saul, my buddy Saul, says, if you believe that you have arthritis, then you have arthritis.
Yep. I agree with that one. I always say, like, if I start feeling pain anywhere, that's not mine. That's
Yeah,
not mine. What are you doing here? Get out of here. You're not mine.
yeah. I teach my clients and I just tell them, I said, nope. When I feel off or imbalanced and I ask, is this mine? I'm like, no, it's not. My gut instinct is telling me, no, this isn't mine. Or I've been there before and I go, nope, not mine, not mine. Go home to the oversoul. And I just create a vortex of energy that pulls that denser energy that's flowing through me out. And I just throw it back into the universe and said, there it is, back to love and light.
That's so awesome. One of our other members does body code. She actually asked if she could use me as one of her subjects to get her certification.
Yeah.
And so I said, sure, why not, you know? And so yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's good stuff.
There's so much out there. I mean, there's so many. I mean, right now, even with what QHS is offering, you know, this is powerful. And I'm being guided by my higher self that this is what we've been looking for. This is the healing tool. The frequency, it's the frequency that's radiating out there that's going to really create a huge shift in the world. A lot of the other tools, it's like, okay, we've got this part balance or we've got that part balance or whatever. But what I sense and what I'm experiencing is that not only am I getting a physical makeover, okay, with the touch, at a much faster pace than with the V9. But my emotional body, my mental body, my spiritual body is also being healed with all this. Because as my frequency rises, it rises in all areas.
Yep.
And I don't allow those lower frequencies to come in unless I choose to, like, getting out with friends at a vineyard and drink a little vino and then say, well, you're going to pay the price. You're going to pay the price on this. And I say, yeah, but, a girl's got to have fun sometime.
Yeah, and if you're cognizantly making a choice, it's completely different than if it's,
Yeah.
just like this continuous habit. So
Yeah.
love it. Donna, you are so lovely, and I really enjoy being with you and hearing you speak and you sharing your heart. So thank you so much for taking some time to spend with me and sharing your experience with the touch.
Oh, you are so welcome. And I hope that my experiences align with other people. And, hey, anything's possible out there. I mean, play, have fun.
Well, you're a great example of that. So I look forward to seeing you next time, my dear. Have a beautiful day.
Love you, beautiful.
Love you too, girl. Thank you.